enough. Oh, there went one. Look at that. It's winding down 2022. Real quick before we get off into this video, I wanted to cover what?
I need your help.
Oh, what are you doing?
Cutting potatoes, and I can't cut them for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come cut them in 3 minutes. All right, guys, so before we dive too far off into this video, we're going to do a 2022 review. This year has been a little difficult for me as far as work level goes. Losing my employees, I got way behind. So 2022 has been a bright spot for the YouTube channel and all your positive comments and doing stuff that I enjoy doing. So I appreciate you guys for that. Now, 2023, I want my channel to be as good as it can be. I hold high standards for myself, you know. I want everything that I do to be as good as possible, and that applies to this. So please tell me what I can change to make it more interesting for you, the viewers, because you guys watch it all the time, but I'm also trying to appeal to people who have never seen my channel, who see me in their whatever you call that thing, and click a video and they're like, oh, this is stupid, and click out and never come back again. So I want to make it attractive to everybody. So please give me your suggestions. I've also gone back and looked at all my old videos. And the stuff that hasn't hardly got any views at all, I'm not going to do stuff like that anymore because it's not worth my time. If I got 5 hours to do a video, I want it to be something that people want to watch. So y'all have been great, supportive. I appreciate you. Now, what's new in 2023? I've got some interesting stuff planned. I bought an old classic tractor that needs some work to get back operating again. I'm gonna take a bunch of leftover parts, totally random, mismatched stuff, and I'm gonna build a vehicle from scratch. A real simple little machine. It'll be fun, interesting. Just basically get a bunch of parts off the ground into something that is operable and usable to some extent. I've got some wheel it runs planned on cars, trucks, stuff like that. So I wanna give you guys as much entertainment as possible. For if you're clicking on my videos, I want it to be rewarding. I don't want you to fast forward through the whole thing and, you know, give me a congratulatory good job or a thumbs up. I want it to legitimately be something you want to watch. Like I said, I want everything to be as good as it can be, and in 2023, that's my goal. So please give me your input. I'm also going to try some new editing stuff, try to get a little bit more smooth there, better audio stuff. James Pretty, the truck channel guy, he very graciously contacted me and gave me some pointers on some stuff. And if you're watching this, I appreciate you, man. You've probably forgot more than I'll ever know about especially heavy trucks. So it's really cool that you would take your time out to A, even watch my stuff, and B, offer any advice. So thank you. You're a good dude. I enjoy your stuff, and hope to be somewhere like you at some point in time. So that's pretty much what I want to do in 2023. So I appreciate y'all watching as usual. Welcome to another adventure, I guess you could call this. I love motors, and as you all know, I like variety. So hopefully you'll get a little bit of enjoyment out of this. I got on the Facebook Marketplace, like I do lots of times, like I probably shouldn't do. And these two gems were on there for $25 a piece. These have been parked for minimum of 6 years. So what we have here is basically your Lowe's special. It's a yard machines, 3.5 horse. Everybody that's ever mowed a yard before in the last 50 years has probably pushed one of these all around their yard. This one is a 6.75 horse Craftsman, set up for the rear discharge bag and all that, which I do not have. It doesn't have a chute on it either, so hopefully one or both of these little machines will run. So we're gonna do a wheel it run on them, see where we wind up. stick around. All right, so the very first thing we're gonna do here is pull the air filter off and check the condition of the inside of the carb, make sure there's no dirt, mud daubers, and anything in there. We're also gonna pull the gas cap off and see if it has any fuel in it. Probably doesn't, but it could have, and if it does, we wanna get that out. I did pull this one through, and it feels like it's either slightly stuck or got a ton of compression, which is fantastic in the second deal there. You also don't want to that is disgusting. You do not want to run a mower like that. That's just choking the air. Okay, so at least for the momentary, we'll be not using that till I clean the filter. All right, while that remaining brake cleaner and old fuel is evaporating, we're gonna go ahead and check for spark. Now, on the subject of the air filters, if you want your machine to run for a while, you need to, at a minimum, pull those out and clean them. You can just wash them in water. But you can get on like Amazon or eBay and buy like 20-pack of filters for like 10 or 15 bucks. That, in combination with changing the oil, these things will last forever. So, here we have the plug. Get it to focus. Shows little oil fouling, little fuel fouling. Not totally out of character for an old machine. I'm gonna get some brake clean and a little wire brush and clean that up some. All right, so I did a real quick cleanup of the end of the plug. Now at this point, you guys are gonna have to be my eyes because I can't easily pull this motor through engine and see if we're getting a spark or not. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it well either. Let's see, got a whole lot of slack in the coil. I don't know if that's gonna be a good enough ground or not. I'm gonna try to look, but I gotta hold the handle and peek here too. I might can see it. Main thing here is don't chop your feet off. Oh, that's a good spark. We'll put this dude back in the engine, and it's nice and wet and oily in there. It pulls through smoothly, so I'm not particularly concerned about anything. We'll shove that thing in there and give her a little snug. We'll yank this rope, and I bet she runs. We're gonna add just a little sniff of fuel. This is a totally full gas can, so yep, probably give just a little there will help. That's enough. Spill it all over the place. I heard a unconfirmed report that I might have spilt a little gas, you know. It's okay. So at this point, I'm gonna put the gas cap back on. The tank is pretty clean. And we're gonna see if the primer bulb gives us a little squirt. And quite confident she will fire. Been wrong before in my life. Primer bulb there says prime 3 times, which typically means like 8. Ooh, that bulb's a little stiff. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I can feel a bubble. Oh, it's making noise. What's that, like 40 primes? It's doing something. Oh, there went one. Just needed to come around a little. So now we'll do the 3 primes that it calls for, even though we're at like 43 now. Give her a little extra. All right, this one does not have a throttle on it. It's got basically on and off. She's a wide open runner. All right, I'm gonna set you up. We'll give her a yank. All right, you all ready for a drum roll? We'll find out if this $25 score is actually a score or if it's just a turd. Whew, little knees are hurting. clearly ran out of fuel. Give her another squirt. May end up needing to pull the carburetor off and seeing what we got going on there. There's a very high possibility it's got dirt and debris in it. But she fired. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and call that a win. Well, it's outside, been running for about 10 minutes. It's cleaned it up, running a little smoother. First thing we'll do is see if she's got any oil in it. This, just like the other one, has been minimum of 6 years since it's run. It's got oil, looks relatively clean. Just barely past the low mark. And that lid ain't going on, all right. It has a plastic tank and doesn't appear to have gas in it. Smells a little bit like gas, but it doesn't have any in it. Which could mean one of two things. One of three. It evaporated, they drained it, or ran it till it ran out of gas. Or three, the plastic tank cracked and leaked out. We don't know those things. What we'll do before I try to spin it is we'll bust this plug out, give her a little sniff of the penetrating oil. Get it on the rings, because I know it hasn't spun at all in that length of time. It's a little black, but fairly typical. You probably can't see that. There's no rust. We're at top dead center. Give her a little squirty squirt. Okay. The piston looks about like the plug, kind of black and sooty. See if she'll move. Definitely dry sounding. We'll give her a little bit more stuff. Just get it better right in the hole. I'm gonna smoke like crazy putting this in here first. Hopefully I'm not out of the shot. Definitely sounds dry. Dry or really tight, one or the other. I'm gonna let that soak for about 10 or 15 minutes and bring you back. Well, I let the penetrating oil get in there and work for a little while. Went to work in it. It was really crunchy. Like it had some carbon deposits dried up in there and or surface rust in the cylinder. It's always a good idea to let this work for a while so you don't damage your rings. She did loosen up, turned it a few turns, revolutions with the blade, and then pulled it a few times through there. Now that I'm confident the rings are, sufficiently unrusted, we can go ahead and check for spark. Now, I'm gonna need you guys to do that because I gotta get up there and pull. So I'm gonna probably wipe this plug down with a brake cleaner real quick in a brush, then have you get your eyeballs down here and check for spark. Testing, testing. Okay, need y'all to watch right there. I might be able to hear it if I'm lucky. I don't hear nothing. I'm not hearing nothing. Well, you're probably seeing nothing, huh? Let's try it here. You see that? Second I pull, it's gonna fall off. What'd you see? Anything? Well, after consulting with y'all, we got spark. and it pulls through pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just snuggle that baby up, get some fuel in it. We're gonna fire it up. Then we'll take it outside and cut some snow. I'm gonna put a whole lot because I don't know if it's gonna leak out. Yeah, don't appear like it's gonna leak out. I'm also gonna put a tiny bit of 2-stroke gasoline mix in this thing. Give it some extra cylinder lubrication based on how much crunchiness was in it when I spun it. Oh, good job. Okay, let me get a paper towel so we don't have a fog. Well, you dudes ready? Or girls, if there's any of you watching. First start attempt in 6 to 8 years. If she fires, I'm gonna immediately kill it and we'll take it outside and attack some snow. It's gotta get some gas work through. I didn't see a prime on it. Unless that was a prime. No, that's not a prime. It might take 85 cranks. It's not the traditional Briggs & Stratton tank mounted carburetor. It's a little newer, nicer model. Well, here goes. I expect probably 5 to 7 pulls at least. Get some gas work down in there. 3, 4, 5. My arm's already tired. We've had a huge cold spell here lately. It's been, I don't smell a drop of gas yet. It's been like wind chills in the negative 20s. Had fits trying to keep the animals from dying. Hopefully it'll hit and catch maybe. Pull some fuel in there. Oh, she's coming. Thinking about it. I killed it. It smells an awful lot like burnt cylinder looby-dooby. I'm guessing this thing was probably like all mowers, parked with fuel in it. Probably all evaporated, all the crap probably settled down in the carburetor. It was probably trying to pull all kinds of dirt and junk and hopefully not ethanol deposits through the carburetor. It was a real slow start. So we'll take her outside, set you up and freeze my butt off while you sit there all warm and see if she cleans up. I'll get a rope so I can tie it, or no, I'll get tape. I'll tie the throttle back and we'll see if we can get her to clean up and then we'll cut some snow. Well, it's quite frigid right now. It's about 9 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind died down though, so that's not that bad. And I taped the trigger down, fixing to get video bombed by a cat. Oh, y'all want to see her? She doesn't like the cold much. She's definitely not gonna like the mower. We're gonna see if she'll run for a few minutes and clear up. I suspect she will. outside or you think it's smoke? Dripping a little black stuff out of the muffler. Probably has junk in the carb. Give her a little shaky shake. Maybe dislodge something if there's anything in the carb. Or not. Well, we were having fun. She's running out of gas. I'll be back. I was hoping this one would just light right off. One thing I did totally forget to check, which was totally my bad, is the air filter. Based on how nasty the other one was in the other mower, that should be no surprise. It's like, holy crap, dude. Have you never, ever even considered changing that thing? That would definitely explain the heavy carbon deposits and smoke. That is probably one of the dirtiest air filters I've ever seen. And this is probably one of the worst willet runs. So, I'm gonna pop the bottom off this carburetor. I've already got it broke loose. I took the side cover off already. Screws on that was really tight. I was gonna let y'all watch, but didn't figure you really cared. Okay, don't wanna lose the little washers. Golly. Well, it's off. Like I suspected. Look at that. All that sediment just sitting in that bowl. Needle and seat appears to work. So we try to suck all that stuff up in the carburetor. It was acting like it's run out of gas. So I'm gonna clean up my fuel spill and right quick that bowl and get right back with you. Well, got the bowl cleaned out, sprayed the needle and seat out. It's gravity feeding fuel, so that should have cleared it out pretty good. I just can't believe that. This right here, this is solid debris, grass. And again, it was a beautiful sunset. See if she'll run. I guess that just goes to show you, if she does run good, how important it is to check your air filters. Keep her a clean machine. Boy, it's cold. Well, here's where we at. It'll hit every time with ether, but as soon as it burns it out, it's done. So that means we got a major restriction in the carburetor somewhere. It's getting good fuel through the needle and seat, but it's not pulling it up into the engine. It's dark, I'm cold, I'm hungry. I think this can wait till tomorrow, so we'll revisit this. Well, to go ahead and pick up where we left off, pulled the bowl back off. We got fuel to come out. You can see there's debris in there still. We've got a major restriction up in here, somewhere up into the fuel routing track. So we're just gonna zip that guy off of there. Have to pull this top plate off so I can get to the top screw for this guy. And we'll shoot some brake cleaner through all the passageways and see if we can get some stuff knocked out of there. Hopefully have better luck. It is the next day. Ran out of energy and steam and everything else yesterday. Let's go ahead and see about popping this top plate off. I don't believe I've ever took the top off of one of these ones before. Not sure which all screws I need to pull. That might be it. Yep. Cool. Put them right back where they go, or they'll wind up kicked across the shop underneath the car tire. Okay, looks like the carburetor is super easy to get to on this one. This unit. Pop that guy off. Where'd the socket go? Here it is. Here we go. Well, this cold spell we're having is finally about to break, which is great. It has been pretty miserable. Spent a lot of time out there busting ice holes in the pond so that the horse can get water. It's just been really fun. Okay, this does not come all the way out. Need to snake in there and get them two guys. And it's a bigger socket than this. What is that? Probably should have took a picture of how those springs go before I take them off. I want to break this fitting off the fuel tank here. Okay. Get that guy out. Yeah. This guy out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and snake this little fella off. And pop this one little piece out. Yeah, carburetor is off. Ain't that a cute little feller? Yeah, look at all the debris still in it. We're gonna have to give this a real good spraying with brake cleaner. I'll be back. So I got the needle and seat pulled out. Fortunately, it's a steel needle, so it's not rubber. It's not gonna be all dried out. I noticed this yesterday. This little front choke plate is completely seized up. I mean, it will not move at all. So we'll have to get that unstuck. That's the actual vroom vroom. There's not heavy stuff in there. Nothing I can see that's super obvious, but I do have corrosion and stuff all the way around this ring. We'll just go ahead and let her soak. I'm gonna cut off this fuel hose. I couldn't get it to spin. It's so dried up and rotted. So we'll get that off first and give her a little bath. These cookie sheets that you can buy at the, well, anywhere, Dollar General, Walmart, they're great little stands or trays for cleaning stuff, especially carburetor parts. You can drop them in there and you won't lose them. Okay, let's get a little penetrating oil on that before I go to twisting on it. Or a lot, that'd be fine too. Not sure if this has a restriction in it. I'm hoping that's the case. Or the mower's got a little more serious problem. If it won't fire off of gas, it'll only run on ether. See if we could just gently kind of work this loose. It shouldn't be stuck bad. Okay, this is not moving the throttle butterfly, so that would probably not be the ideal place to be prying on it. Snap something in there. Just give her a little love tap. That's moving a little. Just barely touching it. Go back the other way. I don't have this laying on anything, so it's not going to... Chunks of stuff falling out already. All right, now see if it'll move with this little. All right. There she goes. Now she's loose. We're gonna spray her down, let her soak with brake clean for a little bit. Let that soften up all the stuff. Well, I got the old carburetor torn down. Blew all the passageways out, brake cleaned everything, got everything moving at least. This O-ring gasket that seals the bowl is in pretty bad shape. So I'm not expecting that to seal fuel. I didn't find anything major other than some small chunks of debris in the carburetor passageways. One of them appeared like it was partially blocked, but not badly. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this carburetor back together, which is pretty much just gonna consist of putting the needle back in the float, putting the cross pin back in, putting the bowl back on, and bolt it back up to the engine. Then I've got new fuel line. Alrighty guys, so the old carburetor is back on it. At this point, before I hook the fuel up, I think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and check the compression, just to kind of know where we're at. We know it runs, so the rings are probably okay, but I want to check it. Truth being told, I should have done all this before I tried to start it. I certainly should have took the air filter off, but to be honest, I thought she was going to take off. The other little mower, it took off with almost no struggle. So I figured, mistakenly, that this would take off. So I didn't do this. I should have pulled the air filter off. I should have cleaned the carburetor out. But I didn't. So now we're gonna basically back step. Take a few steps back in time to where I should be right at this point in time. Watch the old gauge there. See what she does. Oh, quit complaining. Well, did we get anything? We didn't get much, but I didn't spin the engine very fast. I'm gonna have to pop this on real quick. Keep catching on the little dilly whopper there. That should work. Let's try it again. It's right at 60. That's kind of right on the borderline of what would, be considered necessary to run. So it's not high, it's not great. You saw the air filter on it. So depending on how long he ran this thing, struggling like it was to breathe, could potentially have caused a big problem. Well, I got our top put back on, got the carburetor, everything hooked up. Don't have the cover on there yet. I hadn't cleaned that nasty filter. The plug back in it. If you'll recall, thought that boot was split. If you'll recall, go back in time about 5 days, 4 days for me, about 10 minutes for you. This is what she was doing before. As soon as the ether's gone, it's game over. So that would lead me to believe that it's not pulling enough vacuum to get gas from here to there, or there was a major restriction in the carb. So we're all put back together. I'm gonna get up there and crank it. I'm not gonna ether at all to see what she does. Hopefully something. This was supposed to be one of those easy will it runs. That's what I expected. There's no prime button. That's very, very much like she did the first time we got her started. You'll recall she ran about 30, 45 seconds and quit. The longer it runs, the more it smokes. So we're gonna take it outside. We're gonna fire it up in off of gas. It did start a lot easier this time. So we're gonna pull it out there and just see if it'll run for a while. We're not, we got a little bit of gas seep, but like I said, that gasket is shot. You know, a feller's gotta wonder what the neighbors must think of me. What guy in his right mind would be out here pushing a lawnmower around in the snow? Well, it's about melted off. It's better than it was the other day. Gotta get over here where you can't hear the cars as much. We're gonna fire it up and I'm gonna see if she'll run for a minute. It's gonna be hard to do with one hand. All right, hang on. She don't sound very sure of herself, but we'll see what happens for 45 seconds. That's what she run last time. I better start mowing snow now, eh? Woo, she's chooching. Doesn't seem to be affecting the snow much. Look at all the smoke. Oh, now I'm eating the smoke. I forgot my tape, so I can't tie the handle down. Well, it's cutting. There ain't no grass left. Well, guys, that went pretty well. She ran for a while. Had to let all the smoke out of it before it started running good. Smoothed out, started running better. Ran for a couple minutes and seemed to be running nice and smooth when I shut the thing off. That's a good point when you get it to the point where you shut it off yourself instead of it shutting itself off, like we was doing. I think after I buy a new air filter for it, I'm gonna give this thing a clean bill of health and figure out what to do with it. This thing is in really, really good shape. I mean, the deck's not banged up, it's not rusty. All the stickers are still on it. She is really a mint little mower. $25 score. So what we've done here in this video, we have taken two mowers, total of a $50 investment, and we've got both of them running with relatively minimal effort, and we've spent $0. So it just goes to show you, you can fix stuff, you can make stuff work without spending a ton of money on it. And for me, it's enjoyable. I like making stuff run. I'm not picky about what it is. So tell me what you want to see, and in 2023, we'll kind of take this channel up a notch. If you don't mind. I don't mind either. It'd be fun. So we're going to draw this one to a close, and I hope you all have a wonderful New Year coming up here in a couple of days. Don't do anything dumb, and I'll try not to do anything dumb either. Typically my New Year's consists of going to bed at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. We're going to my buddy Mike's this New Year's. He is a steak cooking machine. I can't cook a grilled cheese. So y'all have a awesome New Year's, and we'll see you in 2023. What is that anyways? It's like laminated cardboard. People, $5 part. Just don't make sense.